Maybe I'm ill. A counselor's foreword. A good man walks into my office. He's motivated and inspired by some new revelation, some integrated theory he's testing for the first time with some experimental manuscript. He's been my client for 45 years, so this isn't the first time he shared his outlandish aspirational goals. He retired from a 10-year NFL career about 12 years ago after his youngest child was born. He's a 45-year-old black male. He has desires of becoming an LPC, counseling individuals on mental wellness, although he's mentally ill. By his own accounts, he's had multiple concussions, just precognitions of other worlds as he describes them. His presenting issue is some desire for self-realization. He spent a lot of time in the fast lane, but after retirement, like his life just felt like it came to a stifling halt. Said he couldn't adjust to the adversity of his mental state. He created some imaginary upside-down pyramid of challenges as like a latest innovative technique for his mental health. He states atop this multidimensional pyramid of conflict resides some promise he has with God from his teenage years. He's tasked with the journey of toppling the darkness that comes with the pyramid, which is how he describes his mental health. And then he wants to rescue his life's purpose, which he thinks is in the possession of his demons. This is the story he's creating in his head. And they're both at the top of this mountain waiting for him, both his destiny and this demon, as he describes as a shadow. Yeah, it's deeper than he has a lot of thoughts. He keeps telling himself if he can prove his story that it will basically align his emotions with his thoughts and then his ambitions, and it makes that path that has been designed for him easier to see. And this is the story he's creating in his head. And that path makes that his purpose because from his idea, when he's aligned, he's spiritually connected with God. So he fights for that on a daily basis. But his dilemma is he's mentally ill. He's been diagnosed with major depression, general anxiety, post-traumatic stress. He's OCD and he's ADD. So he says when his life isn't aligned, that it provokes a bunch of paralyzing symptoms, basically. Guilt, worthlessness. He doesn't find pleasure in any pleasurable activities. He's always low in his mood, lack of energy, and poor concentration. Mental matrix of preplex premonitions is how he describes the maze in his head. So obviously he's in some internal turmoil, but he maintains a very calm demeanor. But he's easily triggered by the anticipation of conflict. He's hypervigilant due to his childhood trauma. His monologue can get very convoluted, but when he vents, I just try to actively listen for like tidbits of truth in his story. He just wants to get better every day. And I mean, he says it in a way that he actually means it. Like he has to feel that he's progressing on a daily basis. But some dark cloud of psychological disturbance has now kind of entered his presence and is hindering his maturation, basically. So all these paralyzing symptoms are keeping him from getting closer to his goals. But he went to get his master's in mental health, and he's been studying a lot of psychology and neuroscience. And he claims he came up with this gigantic discovery that if he can just maintain a routine of healthy lifestyle and stay disciplined, that it caters to his mental health. And he's not wrong. But in essence, he thinks it grants him a level of new consciousness where he can now start to see the vision in his head. And then he's updated with some artificial intelligence. It provides him some accurate alignment with his passion, purpose, and legacy. And he means it. But he says in order to prove this theory to me, he has to properly illustrate how he's been able to calm his neurotic thoughts just by simplifying the complexities of life. Although his thoughts are very obsessive, his acts are very compulsive, He can be disconnected from reality every now and again. But if he's able to calm his mind, it permits him a level of clarity that allows him to write his life-saving story. And before he hands me the story, he kind of explains his method. And this is his report. So I developed this simple theory to improve my mental health. It's a little complex, but it focuses on the upside down pyramid regarding Maslow's hierarchy of needs when self-realization is at the top. For me, I flipped it upside down because it was primary for me. It was more important than air. That's the only way I knew how to escape. So those symptoms that complement my disorders, if I can direct that energy in a positive manner, oh man, you're talking about a superpower? Man. But yeah, I get persistently depressed when I'm misaligned, just in terms of my life purpose, because I can feel it. You feel it. And people say they're walking in their purpose, they're not. It's not hyperbole. They feel it. But just from the lack of purpose, it decreases my daily energy. I can't focus on anything that's disassociated from my vision for my life, because I think it's God's promise for my life. And that purpose is the only thing I live for, to be honest with you. So I have to develop some advantageous game plan to get to where I'm trying to go, despite the cognitive distortions. So it is literally a battle for my life. And I don't know if this dark cloud will ever go away. Threw a lot of bombs. We threw a lot of bombs. That shadow really is a silent assassin. Marco Hutchinson, my teammate, was the first one to call me that. Shout out to Marco Hutchinson. And I may be saying his name wrong because Darian, they have similar last names, so I kind of go back and forth when there's a lot going on, man. They're my closest teammates, and sometimes I can't remember their name. So if I've ever forgotten your name, just know I love these guys, and I still get their last name mixed up every now and again unless I'm reading it. But those thoughts, like those vivid flashbacks of those childhood memories, yeah, they become disturbing when you're tapping into them. And I did it on purpose because I went to study this stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, I have to do it. I mean, I recognized what was going on in North Columbia, and I was like, ooh, yeah, like if there's a way to help this, then I can make this it. So, yeah, it became very important. But they say when you're getting closer to your destiny, you get attacked a lot more. I agree. I'm always on alert for the next threat. That's unconscious. I can't help it. So I'm very hyper vigilant. I'm always worrying. Because if I'm not getting better, I'm getting worse. We say that all the time in football. I'm always worried that I'm not getting better. So I get distracted. Yeah, it's a detriment to my reality, but at the end of the day, I gotta chase my dreams. I don't have a choice. It's not an option for me. It's the only way I know how to survive. And if I'm gonna help others do the same, I need y'all to tune in, man. I just do. Prioritize your mental wellness. Goody out.